Hey everybody, this is Andy at the Loaded Grape. Hope you're doing good. I'm kind of super excited about this next few wines that we have this week. I actually have 3 wines from Mexico. Yes, Mexico. Have you ever had a Mexican wine or a wine from Mexico before? A lot of people say, no, Mexicans don't really make, wine. It's usually Baja, California, or somewhere like that. No, these wines are truly from Mexico. So, and it's Querétaro, if I'm saying it right. I took Spanish, but I still can't speak Spanish very well. So that's where it's from. So that's the city. So there's a label right there. And it's Querétaro, Mexico. So Mexico, kind of like the United States in the sense of we have our states. They have 32 federal designated areas. So this is one of the 32 states, if you will, in Mexico. And guess what? They've made a sparkling wine, method traditional, which is actually really, really nice and really good. We can go ahead and talk about it, get into it. So Terra Madi is what it means. It basically means beloved earth. Terra, earth. Madi means to love. It's from a word, Otami. They're like native people from long ago. It's from a language, native Mexicans from long ago. It actually means love or to love, and basically it means beloved earth. And they've done a really good job with this. So the 2 grapes are Macabeo and Zorello, I believe is how you pronounce it. And in this one, the Macabeo is basically cava, right? So this is kind of makes sense, right? Cava comes from Spain. We're gonna, so hemisphere-wise, it's down close, so you get the same type of growing environments that go well for this grape. And Zorello, so cava's gonna give it your body, give it your, your bulk of what you want from this wine. Zorello is going to give you your acid, so that's going to add that acid that you want, that sparkling, well, not sparkling, the acid you want that you expect to come in a sparkling wine. And this wine really surprised me. I got 3. I don't know if I told you this or not. I got 3. By the way, if you want to open up a bottle of sparkling wine, this is how you do it. Leave the cage on, pointing away from people's faces, and let's see if I get it right here. A lot of people like to hear the pop, but you're not supposed to hear actually anything. So I messed up a little bit. So there he goes. There he goes. So as you can see right there, lots of bubbles. Now, why did they make this in a champagne tradition or method traditional? They're not allowed to call it. You're not allowed to call it champagne method if it's outside of Champagne, France. So method traditional. So they make it the same way they make champagne, and how that is made, how they get bubbles into the wine. There is the color right there, kind of a pale straw hue. They basically had a second fermentation. So they make it just like they make still wine. Like, how does still wine get bubbles? They come up with this thing called yeast, sugar, and wine, and they add it when they're ready to do the second fermentation to the bottle. It's called liqueur de tirage, I believe. And what they do is they add that into the bottle, and that yeast produces carbon dioxide, and where the bubbles don't have anywhere to go because it's closed, the bottle's closed, and so that's where the bubbles come from, okay? And then you have your method traditional, right? And they do that for one reason, because it's pretty much accepted that that's the best way to make sparkling wine. Some other countries may disagree, but doing it this way produces a more complex wine. This takes, this wine was made 25 meters underground. Every day they turn the bottle by hand. All these bottles, 1/8 of a turn. All of them. Next day they come back, they do it again. They do this for about 18 to 24 months, or almost 2 years. They got one guy. His whole job is just to turn the bottle 1/8. So what that does is it keeps the yeast in contact and stirs it up a little bit, and makes it, creates that texture, that creaminess. So that yeast dies and becomes lees. And that lees stirred up in the wine creates that complexity, that creamy texture that you see in French wines or any wine made in the method traditional. And then when that's all done, that smells good. When that's all done, they turn the bottles upside down, they freeze the neck, they open the temporary cap, the pressure pushes out all those lees. They add a little bit more sugar in there, close it up. The dosage is called the dosage, and they close it up, and then the bottle's ready. So 2 years of work. That's why champagne's so expensive. This is not champagne. Guess what? It's commonly about half the price of champagne. So you're getting a really good deal on a really good wine from an area you've probably never had before, Mexico. All right, here we go. Talked about the color. I can smell the acidity right away. I can smell, I'll call it leesy. So if you like French champagne and you like a little bit of yeasty champagne, you will like this. All right, if you like it more fruit forward, you'll be okay with it. But it's bone dry. You know, even though I said they add sugar or whatever, they do that to all sparkling champagnes and method traditionals. I mean, you do get a little bit, but you're getting fruit, mostly fruit. I'm getting some pear notes. It's really lively. This wine really, even though you don't see a lot of bubbles anymore, I still get a lot of action on my tongue. Good acidity. Some lime note. Some lemon notes. Maybe a lime thrown there, but mostly lemon notes, pear notes. This is pretty straightforward, really delicious sparkling wine from Mexico. It's new to the shop. Come check it out. Cheers.